Hi, everyone. My name is Doreen Hankins, and I'm joined here with my husband, Jim Hankins. Collectively, we are known as Pew Pros. And as Pew Pros, we're here to talk to you about an income stream that most instructors don't even know exists. This isn't about doing what you're already doing better, this is about something entirely new. So, just so you know, we didn't build this in a boardroom. We built it in a classroom. We are Jim and Doreen Hankins, and we've been in the firearm industry for over 18 years. We're both USCCA certified instructors, and our firearm training business, Detroit Arms, is an official USCCA partner. We've owned a gun store, we've managed a gun range, we've taught tens of thousands of students in a crazy saturated market, and we've worked with hundreds of instructors nationwide, just like you, to build and grow a successful business. We literally wrote the book on firearm training marketing. It's in the Amazon store, it's on our website for purchase. So, as we were writing the book, we built the platform that we wished we had from day one. So, we didn't just build this, but we lived it. Like I said, I'm a USCCA instructor, Jim's a USCCA and NRA instructor, and we've been in the industry since 2007. We've taught tens of thousands of people, not only just in person, but also virtually and via hybrid training. We wrote the Firearm Instructors Marketing Toolbook. It's the playbook for instructor success. We built Pew Pros because we needed it first, and every feature that you find in Pew Pros exists because we needed it in our own training business. We're instructors who happen to build technology, it's not the other way around. What if you had one system built for instructors, one platform, every type of training built for your training business by people who do this for a living too? First, Pew Pros is a professional website. Having a website is incredibly important. Some of you have a website, some of you have a reliance on the USCCA training portal. However, it is that you get your information across to people, having a website lends credibility to your training business. People are able to see you, they're able to hear you, they're able to know your story, you're able to list your classes, and having that website out there is important. A lot of people spend an awful lot of time with SEO and things of that nature with regard to the website. While your website is important, equally important is your Google business profile. And that's something that we work with you on through your affiliation with Pew Pros. We have a mobile app and CRM. What is CRM? It's customer relation management. It's a database of all your clients, all of their information. It's a database where you can tag people so that if they've taken a CPL class, maybe you have additional training and you can use that list to push out additional training opportunities to people, to follow up with former students. A former student is your best source of income for future students, whether it's them or whether it's somebody that they know. You can run your entire business literally on your phone in your pocket. We have automated follow up and chat included in the Pew Pros platform. Automated follow up is huge because there are people who need constant reminders to make sure that they show up for an event that they registered for. You can remind people about the event, you can send them information about the event. After the event, an auto thank you goes out, thanking them for attending your event. A lot of instructors put their class lists in the USCCA portal, which is great, but then the request comes from the USCCA to rate your class. That rating ends up on the USCCA website, not on your Google business page where it needs to be for people to understand what you're doing in the community and for you to gain relevance on Google when people sit down at the Google machine and say, firearm training near me. There's also chat capabilities, and I can't tell you how many people I chat with on an enduring basis every single day. People have questions, they want to ask them. They don't necessarily want to pick up the phone and ask those questions. Maybe they're at the cubicle farm they work in and they don't want Susie next door hearing them call about firearm training. It's great that they can log on ask a question and get it answered by you silently in a format that's comfortable for them. We have a situation where you can host virtual classes via Zoom, and everybody thinks, oh, yeah, Zoom. I know all about Zoom. Here's the thing, though, it's integrated into the Pew Pros platform. That's so somebody doesn't have to have an actual Zoom account in order to join. A lot of times we hosted in the past, before we built this, Zoom webinars, meetings, etc., where people were logging in and participating, but in the little chat area where it said what their name was, and in the logs from what we were doing, it would be like Mark's iPad or Bob or some random iPhone 2 up in the corner. And then we didn't have good information on what the person's actual name was and where they were from. It's all integrated video on the Pew Pros platform. We collect all of that information. People register, pay, and attend your Zoom classes. You control everything easily. We have the ability to run hybrid events. What is a hybrid event? That is when you're running, maybe you're teaching something live in a classroom, you're recording it, you're streaming it. People are in the classroom, people are on Zoom, and you can charge for that. You have the ability to run hybrid events. What is a hybrid event? That's where you're running maybe a live class. You've got 10 people in the classroom. You're recording it and you're streaming it out to 50 more people who are either not comfortable with coming in and taking training in a classroom. Maybe they're 100 miles from your location, but it still applies to them. It's the same class. It's triple the revenue. You can charge for streaming the video. You can record it and stream it later and charge for it. The possibilities are truly endless. And then you're back by the marketing toolkit. This is the book that we wrote, and it takes you completely through starting a training business, marketing a training business, how we put 20 to 40 butts in seats every single week without paying a dime in advertising. So it's our strategy book. We want to make sure that everybody hits off on the right foot, whether that's your URL name on the web, whether that's your presence with a website, whether that's how you market in your area. We walk you through and help you with all of that information. So, what if you're only capturing a fraction of what you could be earning? The traditional method for most instructors is you teach a class on a weekend, you collect a fee for doing that, and then you wait for the next one, and the income stops when you stop. We have an opportunity for you where you can earn from not just your in person classes, but virtual students nationwide. You can earn from eLearning 24/7. You can earn from hybrid events. You'll then have multiple streams that are always running and always making money for you. So this isn't about doing your current job differently as much as it's about creating revenue streams that didn't exist before. Pew Pros is the opportunity that most instructors don't even know exists until now. What most instructors do, they teach only in-person classes. Why? Because that's how they think that they have to do their training. They only use USCCA provided content. This is great. The USCCA provides a lot of great content, but everything the USCCA provides us to teach must be delivered live. It can't be delivered in a recorded format. You're limited to students within driving distance. You may have the best message ever, but people generally aren't going to travel hundreds of miles across the state to come see you. You compete with every other local instructor in your market. This is huge. I'm in Detroit. That's my market. I have an instructor on every corner, and the competition is fierce. It's not just price competition, it's who do you know competition, it's who's out there advertising more competition, but you're in competition with everybody that's in your market. We have an ability to raise you above all of that. And then your income is capped by your classroom size and your schedule. So if you can only host 25 people, that's the most money you're going to make in an in-person class. So It isn't wrong how we're doing it, but it is a ceiling, and it's a ceiling that we want to get you over. This new opportunity allows you to create your own training content. You don't have to just deliver what the USCCA puts out there. You have knowledge as an instructor, and you should be sharing it. You can sell e-learning courses 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and earn money while you sleep. I do. I have a 3-hour Michigan CPL renewal course. It's a self-study course. It's 3 hours long. The state of Michigan requires that any CPL applicant for renewal does a 3-hour review of training. You're not required to take a class, but I offer a self-study class at 1995 that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I make hundreds of dollars a day because everybody in the state of Michigan who renews a CPL is required to get a 3-hour review of training under their belt. That's a lot of people. You can teach virtual classes to anyone in your state. Every state has laws that any gun owner needs to know, whether they're a CPL holder or whether they just have a firearm in their state. Every state puts out laws with regard to what is the use of lethal force, what is considered self-defense. What do you need to know about dialing 911, working with police officers when they show? Every person in your state needs to have that knowledge, whether they carry a firearm on them as a CPO holder or whether they just have a gun in their home for self-defense. You can reach an unlimited geographic audience. This means that it doesn't even have to be people in your state. Maybe you're going to run a class called Holsters 101 and talk to people about the different types of holster opportunities that they have out there. They have belly bands, they have Kydex holsters, they have leather holsters, they have inside the waistband, outside the waistband, all kinds of holster opportunities. You can do a gun safety class. You can talk about what is proper storage, how to properly keep your guns in your home, especially if they're youth present. And you can build income with no ceiling. This is an entirely new revenue system for you. So you already have everything that you need. You don't need a new certification from the USCCA. You don't need a special studio. You don't need to change anything about your current business. You're going to rely on your expertise. You have years of training and experience and real world knowledge that students can't get from a textbook or YouTube. The market is waiting for you. Thousands of people in your state want firearms training, but oftentimes can't get to a physical class. Your unique perspective. Every instructor teaches differently. Your approach, your stories, your style, that's content that only you can create. It's also a demand that's growing. New gun owners are growing every year, and most will never walk into a traditional classroom to get training. Why is that? I do court-ordered firearm safety classes, and that's something else we can talk about later. I do them every day, and people go into a gun store, they purchase a firearm, and the gun store is just there to sell them a firearm. The gun store is not there to give them the rundown on proper use, proper storage, proper transport, all of that. And I subsequently get students who found themselves on the wrong side of the law because they didn't understand what open carry was. They didn't understand how to transport a firearm if you didn't have a concealed pistol license. They didn't understand that it's really not okay, even with a CPL, to drive around in Michigan with a loaded AK-47 on the front seat of your car. Everybody who owns a gun is responsible for knowing what the laws are in relation to ownership, transportation, use, and it's your job to get that information out there. So if you think it, you can teach it. You can just use your expertise. There are things that you know that others should know, and people out there don't know what they don't know. You can train people nationwide. Again, you can produce content that's viewable outside of your traditional marketplace. Many of your students are going to come to you from within a 50-mile radius, but people nationwide need to understand things like choosing a firearm for self-defense or choosing a holster or any of the other things that you have to offer. We provide some starter content for you as a Pew Pros client. We've created some white labeled content. It's content that is just generic. It will work in just about every market. And we talk about things like non-physical self-defense. This is a class that we've recorded that includes a little tidbit about guns, but generally it's about situational awareness, de-escalation techniques, and weapons of opportunity that people can use. We have a real estate agent safety course, we have a travel safety course, and we have a couple of other courses that are what every gun owner should know. Why take a firearms class? All things that you can either sell or you can use them as leaders, have people sign up to take the class. The system, the CRM system, will note who has signed up to take what every gun owner should know course. Quick 10-minute class that runs on your website. That is the hottest lead that you could have out there for following up to find out what kind of training they might be interested in. So you just basically pick a topic and go. If it's not something that's already in our library of pre-recorded content, you can build your own class. You can talk about choosing a firearm, holsters 101, firearm safety, beginner's guide to going to the range. You would be amazed at how many people are scared to go into a gun range because they're not sure of all the rules, the regulations, how should I dress, what should I do? You can do classes on legal considerations for gun owners in your state and more. You know what you know, get it out there. So let's talk about what's actually possible. If you were to run a traditional CPL class on a weekend, you get 10 students, maybe your going rate is $150. That's going to be $1,500 working every single weekend for a total of about $6,000 a month if you put every butt in every seat that's available in your classroom. You could add virtual classes if you did 15 virtual students a week at $100 a student. That's doubling your income. That's adding an additional $6,000 to your income. Add e-learning to that mix where you sell courses 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't have to be on camera. You don't have to put pants on, none of it. If you did 50 sales at $49 a sale, that's an additional $2,450 to your bottom line. So combined potential, $14,450 a month, $173,000 a year from the same expertise you already have. It's just giving yourself new ways to deliver it. Why hasn't this been available until now? Actually, it has. PewPros has been around for a couple years. We have refined everything. We have taken our experience in using all of the platforms that we mentioned. And to be honest, why haven't you known about it? Because nobody built it for you like this until now. So generic platforms, they don't understand our world. They really don't. Eventbrite, Teachable, Zoom, none of them were built for firearms training. You'd need to buckle together about 4 or 5 of those tools in order to do what PewPros will do for you. It took instructors to see the gap. We've been teaching since 2007. We saw the revenue that was being left behind, so we built what didn't exist previously. And then the technology finally caught up. We've integrated Zoom, e-learning delivery, event management, payments, all in one place, purpose-built for USCCA instructors. So imagine this is your week. On Monday, you sell 3 e-learning courses that come in overnight. E-learning, you don't have to be there, $147. On Wednesday, you teach a virtual Zoom class. You've got 12 students from all around the state. That's $1,200 that you can do in your spare time. Saturday, maybe you host an in-person CPL class with 10 students. That's $1,500. Getting 10 students in those seats requires a lot of work. And a lot of what PewPros does is automate a lot of that work for you so that people are reminded and people know to make sure they show up for your class. And then Sunday, you're home with your family because your e-learning keeps selling over and over and over. That's $2,847 in 1 week from experience that you already have. So, how do you access this opportunity? We built the vehicle. You bring the expertise. You can sell every type of event, whether it's in person, via Zoom, hybrid, e-learning, on demand. Students register and pay all in one place. You earn while you sleep. This is my favorite part because once you create e-learning content, you can sell it forever. Unless it's something that you've created where it's laws that have changed or things like that, it sells forever. I wrote my renewal class years ago. I've made addendums to it. It's easy to do it, and people buy it multiple times a day, every day. So students can access it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You'd be amazed at how many people are up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning looking for training opportunities and take it. And then you collect the revenue automatically. It doesn't come to Pew Pros, it comes to you direct. So you can reach students statewide. Zoom is built in. Your classroom just went from one location to your entire state. There's no separate account needed. And your professional profile, students find you, they see your credentials, they read your reviews, and they book directly with you. Credibility converts. Every week you wait is revenue that you'll never get back. So the real cost of, oh, I'll think about it, is in 1 week, you could have missed out on $700 in virtual revenue. In a month, that could be $2,450 in e-learning that you didn't create and profit from. In 6 months, that could be about $15,000 that went to another instructor. You need to rise above. You need to be that instructor that captures the entire market. And then in a year, someone else in your area has already seized the opportunity and now it's too late. So this opportunity has a window and the instructors who move first will win. What does taking action look like? Super simple. Set up your instructor profile at pewpros.com. You can list your events right in the profile, or you can pull them in from the USCCA Instructor portal where you've already listed them. It literally takes minutes to set up. Host your first virtual class within the next 30 days. Launch your first e-learning experience within the next 60 days. We even have that white labeled content for you, so you don't need to worry about being the first one to record something. There's already recorded stuff out there for you. And your new revenue stream is active. It's active immediately and it's active permanently. You already have everything you need in order to succeed: the knowledge, the certifications, the passion. The only thing missing was the vehicle. Now you have access to Pew Pros. Let's build something sustainable. Instructors who adopt new systems tend to grow. Those who resist them tend to struggle. They're doing work the same old way and getting the same old results. Whether you're a new instructor or a seasoned pro, this is for you. Let us help you scale with confidence. Your new revenue stream starts today. Visit pewpros.com, get the book that started it all, create your instructor profile, open the door to the income you've been leaving on the table.
All right. Thanks, Doreen. So
My pleasure.
we'll take a brief couple minutes and just give you a sneak peek into the Pew Pros platform and show some of the cooler features that are in store for you. So Pew Pros is both a website and a scheduling system. You can have the schedule built yourself within your own system and check out with your own Stripe account, or you can synchronize like you're seeing there. And with one click, add all of the courses that you already have on your USCCA instructor profile, which then allows you to check out with the same exact process you were using before. The difference is now when somebody checks out, you're not just getting some random email, it's actually adding the customer that's checked out into your CRM. So you know who they are and which class they booked for, as well as the ever important ability to send reminders so that you reduce the chance that you're going to have the no call, no shows. It has your basic CRM features, such as the ability to tag and associate them with purchases. You can load demo data to kind of get you started, so you can go back and look at the site and how it would appear with actual records there. And then the other cool thing with the service is we have a mobile app. So the mobile app you see off to the right is also synchronized with that same data, and the vast majority of all the features that you can do on the website are also available in the app, to include the ability to chat with customers that are on the website, like the ever-present, when is your next class? And then this is what I always hear Doreen say over and over, because I'm usually in the same room when she's having all these conversations. And what is it? It's on the website. But they ask anyway. They call, they chat, they ask the same questions all the time, even though all the information is there. But yeah, so in that case, what's happened is the customer's done a chat and you're able to reach that. You'll get a push notification. You can go there and act on it. So all of the typical things administrative wise that you can also do via the app. So if you had a great idea for a promo code while you're at the grocery store, you can add that, and that would be immediately available inside of the website. Help articles as well. If you had, the 100th time someone's asked the same question and you've decided that you're going to annoy yourself even further by putting the frequently asked question on there that no one's going to read, you can do that as well. The PewPros app also has an option for white labeling. So, for example, if you wanted to have content and your own brand so that your students are using your branded website, you can do that. For example, we have a Detroit Arms app, which is a white labeled version of the PewPros app. And that enables us to give our students the ability to download an app immediately upon purchase of any type of class, whether it's in-person, hybrid, or e-learning, and consume the content of the app right from there. So that's the white labeled app that you saw right there. Also, we've recently added the ability to have Zoom integration. And all that means is instead of the customer needing to have Zoom, the application has it built in both on the mobile side as well as in the web. So they don't have to go searching for downloading Zoom. It's already there already. And then once they go to the app or the website via the link that was provided to them, you'll see there's a ability to connect, and it'll connect just like it would with Zoom because it's basically Zoom integrated into the PewPros app or your white labeled app. The chief advantage to that also, besides the fact of it already being built in, you don't have to explain to them where to go to get the app, is that the user's name will show up basically as the information that is in their profile. So instead of it being iPad 7, which is super frustrating when you're having a virtual event, you're calling out to someone, and it's like, okay, iPad 7, you had a question on. Instead, it will actually be their actual username that's associated, probably with their credit card information as well, their billing, so that you know who they are. That also will be helpful if you're tracking attendance and you need to be able to correlate who joined the Zoom session, and so they can get a certificate. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. That is the PewPros service. And so if you'd like to get more information, head on out to pewpros.com. You can purchase there online, or if you just have a desire to talk to us and get more information, there's a link there that you can get on our calendar and we can chat with you. That's it for now.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks, everybody.